Okay. Okay, we can start now, Prof. I move
Very
from.
good.
Okay. Good morning to everyone. Welcome to the Dialogues Asia Latin America. Today we have a big honor to have Professor Corrado Letta from Italy, expert in Southeast Asia and Asia issues, and at the same time Latin America. You are most welcome. Thanks, Professor Letta, for staying with us, and this platform is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Very kind of you to invite me. Very good. The reason why I am very proud for this invitation is because the project I'm presenting to you is very dear to me, and it's very important to enhance the relationship between Southeast Asia and Latin America. If you, I've seen from your CV that you do quite a lot about trade, Malaysian trade. So therefore, you know very well that in Malaysia, Malaysia is able to export to Europe, 450 million people, something like 17% of all its products and services. However, Malaysia exports to Latin America, 650 million people, only 1.3% of all its products and no services. And the product is only one, plastic. And that is an arrangement made by Latin American agents and not by Malaysian entrepreneur. The question is why? Similarly, when you look at the attaché of consulate, foreign consulate and foreign embassy in Malaysia and throughout Southeast Asia, you will notice that there are lots of dossiers concerning litigation about foreign investors who try to invest and they did not succeed. In both cases, for the expert and for the entrepreneur, the question is why? What is it? What happened? The question is very simple. As far as the Malaysian is concerned, the question is very simple. They have learned everything about what needs to be known about to go to other country, but they miss one thing. And the one thing is how people think. And therefore, when they go there, they're not able to appreciate the culture, but they only appropriated the culture. And that has a tremendous negative impact on developing the relationship. On the other hand, to develop a relationship that is self-sustainable in the long term and able to produce concrete result is necessary to have an not an appropriation, but an appreciation of the culture, which means to be able to get into synchrony with the way the other part thinks. And that is something that lots of people do not do. And therefore, you have the litigation because people come with certain preconceived package on how to invest in Malaysia or in Singapore or whatever, and then they miss the point. The point is that they have not been able to get into the culture of that particular country. Another mistake that is very made by many Southeast Asian and Latin American, the Southeast Asian, when they go to Latin America, they develop a Latin American project without understanding that all the countries within the Latin American area are totally different. And therefore, it doesn't have to be a Latin American project. It has to be a project focused on that particular country with that particular culture. Then it is possible to make some significant progress. On the other hand, lots of Latin Americans who go to Southeast Asia, they think they can do the same thing, but in fact, one thing is to invest in Singapore, and another thing is to invest in Laos. But if you don't know the culture, you're bound to make terrible mistakes. So the reason why this project is very important is precisely this, that it's not academic oriented to make a book that looks very nice and you put it into the shelf. This is a very practical oriented project that is destined to help entrepreneurs to be able to get into the other country, into the other region, so they can develop a good joint venture that is self-sustainable and is able to produce the results over the long term. And that is important because in terms of the interregional approach to the two regions, there is always been some kind of integration process, and this integration process has always been done top down, meaning from the government initiative down. But this project instead is the other way around, the bottom up, from the entrepreneur all the way up. And that makes a big difference because the entrepreneur has to be totally involved into the project in the first person, and has to be able to develop an empathy with his counterpart, and together they are able to make the joint venture. That's why this project helps people to go on a win-to-win project, not win-lose project. A win-lose project is a project that doesn't work anymore anywhere, especially within the two regions, Southeast Asia and Latin America. It has to be a win-win. There must be a positive aspect for the project for both the entrepreneur that comes from one of the 10 Southeast Asian countries and from the entrepreneur that comes from some of the Latin American countries. And therefore, the analysis that I've made in this study is not on Southeast Asia or Latin America, but I try to explain to Latin American people what is the mindset of each of the 10 countries in Southeast Asia, precisely because all those people who have tried to invest in Southeast Asia, all those people from Latin America who tried to invest in Southeast Asia and failed, they failed precisely because they do not understand the way of thinking of the other. So first thing, they have to be able to discover the other in terms of culture, in terms of the way of thinking, and try to fit in so that they can find the common things that bind them together, and therefore develop the project. Otherwise, whenever they are in the negotiation, it's going to be a wall-to-wall, and instead there has to be an integrated approach. This is, by and large, the philosophy that brought me to do this. And as you can see, the result is this one, this book, which is 666 pages, as you can see. And the University of Lima in Peru, who has published other books from me before, enjoyed that much, translated all this from English into Spanish, and is going to publish. And we want to do something, the same thing there. So now it's necessary to find an initiative in Southeast Asia whereby we can train also the entrepreneur to think in terms of Latin America along those lines. I hope that what I've said is clear. If you have any question, please ask me. Are you there, Professor Mario?
Yes, Professor, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. Do you have, as far as for what I've said, is it clear what I said?
Very clear, Professor, very clear. No problem. Thank you so much.
That's very good. So in order to develop this, in order to move from an appropriation approach to an appreciation approach of culture, it's necessary to be able to develop a way of understanding, develop an awareness building towards the other. And that is why a lot of Koreans who try to invest in Southeast Asia or in Latin America, they are more successful than Latin Americans or Southeast Asian because they devote, just like the Japanese, they devote a lot of time in studying the way people think, in having a full immersion in the local culture. And therefore, once that they feel they get an understanding of that, they are able to start talking business. Instead, most of the time, the people, they get on a plane, they get enthusiastic, they get on a plane, They fly for 19 hours. And then once they're there, they think that they know everything about the taxes, the opportunities and so on. But in fact, they're not able to meet with the others because the way of thinking is so totally different, and nobody has made an effort to try to get together. Especially because in Latin America, the negotiative approach is very personal. There is a personal commitment, and the people are not interested in signing a contract. They are more interested in signing a relationship, the development of a personal relationship. That is the important thing. But when you have the entrepreneur who thinks that by flying over there, they want to fly back to back home within 4 days with a contract signed, that definitely is a no-no, because you have to have an understanding from a personal point of view, which then together will allow you to have an understanding of the market and develop the project. Therefore, the approach has to be learning from both sides. There has to be an opening up, not that one entrepreneur is higher than the other or vice versa. Both of us have to be at the same level and be able to learn from each other, because that then will develop another cascade of benefits, in the sense that all the people involved in the project will be able to work in the same way. Therefore, a new culture is going to be created, and this new culture will be shown in terms of vibrancy within the formation of the company and how the company is able to progress. But unfortunately, that has not been done. So the reason why this research is so important is because it's the first time that an analysis of the mindset has been done. And I made this analysis of the mindset of the 10 countries in Southeast Asia for the benefits of Latin American entrepreneurs. What I want to do next is to make an analysis of how Latin American entrepreneurs can identify a business opportunity in Southeast Asia. And therefore, I will apply basically the same approach, but this time everything is not going to be focused on how to train yourself to be able to think in terms of appreciation of culture, not appropriation of culture, but in terms of how together with my counterpart in the country, I'm able to identify business opportunity which allow me to develop a new joint venture that will be able to benefit not only my country in Latin America, but also the country of my counterpart in Southeast Asia. And that is also very important because all those people prepare themselves to go to and try to have business done in South America, in Southeast Asia, or in Latin America. They go with preconceived idea, and then they do not see really what are the important things. In many parts of Southeast Asia, Latin America is considered an agricultural country, while instead, this is a perception that doesn't go very well with the reality, because in Latin America, you have a birthplace of new technology. Very few people know, for example, that one of the best airplanes in the world is a Brazilian airplane made by Embraer. Very few people understand that the new fuel developed in Latin America has a tremendous impact on the shortage of oil, or when the oil will finish. And therefore, there is a total mindset change in terms of thinking that Latin America is just an agricultural products maker into a high tech, because there are a lot of, all the vibrant cities that there are in Latin America, certainly they're not in Southeast Asia, and vice versa. Everything that people have been able to achieve in Southeast Asia can be applicable also in Latin America. For example, in terms of sea coast and patrolling the coast or developing a new fishing approach. In Southeast Asia, a lot has been done along those lines, but in Latin America, the technique is not the same. So even from that point of view, there could be a lot that could be done together. But so far, that has not happened. So the identification of the business opportunity is something that has not been explored from a systematized point of view. And in terms of matching the reality of what is happening in Southeast Asia and what is happening in Latin America. Just to give you a small example, when you are in Kuala Lumpur, you will see that there are lots of people that flock in to the event, Latin American music, Latin American food, and all this. They go to these events, they enjoy, and then a week later, they forgot what they've done and what they've learned, precisely because it is a single event, so they're not linked up to a system that will approach them to develop themselves in terms of understanding the other. If instead there is this kind of approach that I'm mentioning, that will make a tremendous difference. And therefore, yes, there is in Singapore a Latin American Chamber of Commerce that is the only one, but is doing a good job. But the amount of work that can be done is tremendous. And because the role of the university is not to be in an ivory tower and just to be, but is able, instead is to get out of the ivory tower and help people in society to look up into a new way. Therefore, Malaysia, who has a major problem of exporting because they cannot keep on exporting along the same trade route, the US, Europe, and something like that. They have to find new ways, but in order to find a new way, they have to develop also a new way of thinking in order to be able to go to Latin America and for other people in Southeast Asia to go to Latin America. All this is something that has not been done. Therefore, when I said that this project is very practical, is because I think it is a project that Madrid could actually handle very well. And I'm saying this because I worked with Madrid before, precisely when we developed a series of Latin American weeks. And during those weeks, we invited lots of ambassadors, we had lots of discussion, presentation, and so on and so forth. But now what is necessary is not to have another conference, but is to develop a specific program that attracts entrepreneur and train the entrepreneur to a specific country in Southeast Asia or in Latin America, and therefore help them on how to do that. And therefore, the university, especially an important university like the University of Malaya, should comply with its duty of being a leader within society and try to innovate, not only within the ivory tower, but above all within society. I mean, just think for a second that in Malaysia, you have the possibility of meeting every day people who graduated from Oxford, Cambridge, the US, or Australia. But I can assure you that you will not find ever somebody who said, hey, I studied at the University of Sao Paulo and my wife studied there too, and my son, I'm going to send also my son there. There is a total lack of understanding of what is the richness of that region, and therefore they have difficulty in dialoguing. And this is also something that can be done. Therefore, developing a program within the university that is able to look outside to bring the Malaysian entrepreneur in to train them to do these things will give a tremendous boost to the university, especially because the University of Malaya is thinking very hard on how to raise up into the international ranking. Well, something like this will allow that to have a tremendous rise in the international ranking. And as you know very well, when you are up in the international ranking, that means that there's a very practical implication, because all the possible investors are interested, they get in and they join in. And this is something at the moment that the University of Malaya is missing, because the impact, the practical impact is not there. So projects like this are also innovating from the entrepreneur on an individual basis, but as the nation as a whole, because it gives them a new way to look at export and to rebalance the balance of trade, which at the moment, in terms of Latin America, has a tremendous deficit. But it's a deficit created by the passivity approach of many Malaysian entrepreneurs, which instead could be transformed in a tremendous asset by looking that way. And since the Latin American, the ambassadors from Latin American countries stationed in Malaysia are very good and very forward-looking. And there is also the Pacific Alliance that can be used. Developing a project together with Madrid along the line of this project would create a tremendous benefits. And therefore, a study center like yours could play a tremendous role, and maybe also develop the opportunity not to depend only from the budget from the university, but also to be able to earn money by consulting the entrepreneur in Malaysia and outside along these lines. That way, you will play your role to the fullest, because you will be able to give a new light to the to your center, a new light to the university, and the Malaysian society as a whole will benefit in terms of raising up to a new approach, which is at the moment part and parcel of the discussion that I've been making. Where are we going to find new ways of new venues for exporting Malaysian products? My goodness, Malaysia has so much to give, and the possibilities and the complementarities with Latin America are so many. But the problem is that the entrepreneur seems to be programmed in one direction, in one area, in one geographical area, and nobody seems to look at Latin America. And when you ask, why is it? They say, oh, well, you know, over there, they're all Catholic, over there, they speak only Spanish. And this kind of statement, only general statement that do not reflect the reality, of course, because all the entrepreneurs there will speak at least 2 languages, and the openness there. But besides, the volume of people living there and the development of new technology there is so tremendous that it could be developed. On the other hand, Malaysia could give to them quite a lot. For example, as I was saying earlier, Malaysia has done a tremendous job in terms of bordering the coastline and make it safe. Well, all those techniques will be able to be transferred there, because there the coastlines are much, much longer, and nobody has paid so much effort as much as you have. Similarly, in terms of agribusiness, it could be the same thing. And therefore, developing this new culture of cooperation would help, because everybody will be able to bring something in, and it will become really a win-win situation and not a win-lose situation. The reason why all the consulate and all the embassies of foreign countries in Southeast Asia have those dossiers or litigation, precisely is because people do not know. And therefore, they try to do something because they understand that the richness of the venture they're doing, but they don't know how. They have no learning beforehand how to do it. And instead, the problem is to plan beforehand, to learn something else, to get involved with a new frame mind, therefore moving from a flat mindset into a growth mindset. That would help tremendously in order to be able to achieve something concrete. And the University of Malaya and your center would certainly play a tremendous role in doing this, because you, knowing the culture of Latin Americans, knowing the culture in Malaysia, would be able to bring them together through learning, showing them how to move from an appropriation of the culture to an appreciation of the culture. What does means appropriation? Appropriation means that when I get on a plane and I fly to Sao Paulo, I go there, I get all enthusiastic, and I start buying things that the Latin American, and I take with me. But that does mean that my mind is going to be enlarged, and therefore I'm much more receptive to listen to a Latin American entrepreneur. Appreciation instead means just the opposite. I don't try to get sample of the local culture and appropriate for myself. I try to get involved into that culture, and therefore, together with a local entrepreneur, we develop something new, and that will certainly be a winning ticket. Did I make myself clear? Professor Mario?
Perfectly, perfectly. Because
Yes.
you let me think so much. Well, everything you are saying now is correct, is clear, and really we need you here also, your help. Honestly, after I heard your presentation, it's a very illustrative and a lot know-how based on your experiences. You can help us a lot. And we have, yes.
But Professor Mario, that is the reason why, having worked with the University of Malaya before and knowing the potential that you have, I thought that would have been a good idea to present this project to you.
Thank you, Professor Letta.
Because together we could really develop this by going to Madrid, make a presentation to Madrid.
Yes.
You know, when we had together with Madrid in the past years, we developed a series of Latin American weeks. But during these Latin American weeks, we focus on the food day, the festival day, the musical day, and the dance day. But at the end of that, there was nothing left. Instead, if we train the entrepreneur into bringing them into the mind of the Latin American entrepreneur, that would create a tremendous. And then once we have done this series of seminars, together we organize a trip to the specific country in Latin America, and we go there and we present to them the potential partner, and therefore we assist them to show them really practically how to do it. And to develop something like this would help tremendously the University of Malaya, and especially your center, because your center will not depend any longer from the budget, the University of Malaya budget.
Yes, we appreciate this.
Partly we'll get it from the University of Malaya. Partly you will show to them that the brain trust that you have in the institute is able to gain money to become self-sufficient. In other words, you will be preaching what you actually be doing. And that would be a tremendous achievement for you, you see.
Professor Letta, I want to give you some information. Actually, now we have something we call the class education platform. It's 12 weeks, and every Wednesday from 10 to 12 p.m. Malaysian time, we're going to bring experts and people from Latin America to give a brief about Latin America to business people, students, researchers, and policymakers. We're going to do physically in the building. At the same time, we put camera and we're going to record live, and we'll put on YouTube to invite, and after finish the 12th week, we're going to give one small certificate of to all participants. I
Yes.
think it's free in the beginning because I don't want to. Now the situation is not so good, Professor Letta, and we need to be a little bit thinking about how the situation, the business people, students, they are suffering now with before with COVID-19 and now with this Russian-Ukrainian war that is affecting us economically, financially a lot.
That's right.
Then, Professor Letta, I think this is the beginning of something good, positive, and I want you to collaborate with us together in this platform. I think
You see, Professor Mario, the reason why I suggested to you to print and publish this book in Malaysia is because of exactly for the same reason that the University of Lima, when saw the book, understood right away and say, well, we want it, but we want to use in our language. Therefore, we are going to translate. They translate the whole 700 pages from English into
Spanish. Okay.
And now we are going to do a series of seminars there. If I could do the same thing, that would be fantastic, you see?
Yeah. And do you know, Professor Letta, I'm thinking also to find a way to translate in Bahasa Malaysia in Chinese. I tell you why.
Of course, you're right.
The main idea, okay, now I have more clear about the position of the center, is to teach or to people like to learn knowledge from Latin America in Asia. But in the long term, I want also Latin Americans learn from Asia. But now our target basically is this region, is to concubine, to invite this market with Latin American issues, Latin American trade, Latin American
Absolutely.
culture. I believe in South-South education system.
Absolutely. It's a two-way street. You're absolutely right. It's a two-way street. But the problem is so far, nobody has taken the initiative. The initiative that the Madrid took 4 years back eventually ended up in nothing because there were budget problems. So even there, it's necessary to be able to talk to the chief executive officer and to the minister of the industry to make it understand that the priority has to include also this high up in the priority so that we are not going to have a budget problem.
Professor Letta, I think is this dialogue we have now, we call dialogue. It's no seminar, no presentation, we call dialogue.
Yeah.
I think we can have a very prolific future to discuss about these issues, but we need to work together. In the beginning, we need to do many sacrifices in the beginning, and we need to work hard to this platform.
Yes.
It's working. Now, my target is very clear. Let Asians know Latin America. This is the idea.
Yes.
Yes. After they know us, then we need to take in charge Latin America Latinos need to learn about Asians, politics, economic, philosophy of life, philosophy of thinking, so many things.
Absolutely.
I think what you said in the beginning is, first is, they need to know culturally. They need to know the culture, the history, where they are, what they are doing, and how they arrived to this development.
But Professor Mario, but not in terms again of the food festival.
No. This is
because those do not produce very much. You see,
Professor Letta, this is a very superficial. Sorry to tell you, it's very superficial.
Absolutely right.
Very superficial. I'm so sorry. I want to go deeply in the sense that we need to give knowledge more than food.
Absolutely right.
Knowledge is a beautiful investment in the long life learning. And
Professor Mario,
yes.
That's right, Professor Mario. That's why in all of Southeast Asia, I choose to make the proposal to you because I've read your resume and I see how open you are and
Yeah.
how efficient you have been in expanding and projecting and implementing new ideas and new approaches.
Thank
Because
you.
that is what it's all about.
Yeah, Professor Letta, I'm not working for myself. I'm working for the institution.
That's
always,
right.
Always I said, a man need to leave legacies.
Yes.
Legacies. It's not because you was a very rich man or very intelligent. There's nothing related with this. For me, live, because nobody is indispensable and nothing is forever and nothing is permanent. But I want to leave a institution well established that can continue in the long run exchange of information and knowledge, South-South, in the sense of Latin America and Southeast Asia. Japan, China, and Korea is another item in the long term. But now my priority is Southeast Asia.
Yes, yes.
Southeast Asia and South America. Central and Caribbean is quite difficult to integrate now. Mexico, yes. But
yes.
Central America, we need to sell in block Central America. We cannot sell these 5 small, tiny countries that they are beautiful and great, but it's very difficult. People cannot assimilate. It's very hard to assimilate. They thinking they are very big puzzle in the sense that we need to reorganize all. We need to sell things that is very clear and keep in the mind of the people.
Absolutely, yes.
And Professor Letta, I fully agree with you. Really, this presentation is very good, very illustrative. I learned a lot, and I think all the public is learning with your presentation. And I think we need to keep in touch and constantly and discuss about the new platform. I want to be you and my team of the education platform.
No problem. No problem.
Participation is very crucial. Okay.
If I can help, that would be nice. And if you think that we could find a way to translate this book in Mandarin or
Bahasa Malaysia, because
Bahasa, absolutely, yes.
Because Bahasa Malaysia and Bahasa Indonesia are very similar. Meaning
yes,
we are
absolutely
publishing,
right.
And also Brunei,
absolutely,
and also the south of Philippines. Okay.
Well, you know, Brunei also is a very good case because Brunei and Indonesia, both of them are trying to do business with Latin America, with Brazil.
Yeah.
But they do not know how. So several initiatives has started, but they have not produced very much up to now.
Okay, Professor Letta, I want to share something with you. I want to make first a Southeast Asia network, okay, with different academicians, different professors, and make muchos MUs, different MUs with the center, to we can teach them about Latin America.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, Professor Corrado, this is the idea. And later, with this consolidation, then we find our network in Latin America, and then we join the two networks. It's amazing. I cannot tell you this network working between Latin American and Southeast Asian universities to exchange knowledge. We are the bridge. Actually, in class, we are the bridge. We are not an institution who do impose rules or want to be the big boss. No, we are connecting people. We are connecting knowledge. That's all.
That's the important thing, exactly. Not to have a beautiful academic paper that nobody reads and doesn't help anybody.
Yes, Prof.
We have to produce something that helps people on a new track.
Yeah, Professor Letta, I want to tell you something. We have the large library in Spanish in all Southeast Asia, the most largest.
Yes.
And we have beautiful place to read and everything. But if anyone from Southeast Asia want to come and learn knowledge from Latin America, we have here our library with all Latin American authors. Not only in literature, I'm talking about science. I'm talking about different aspects. And I think the secret of South-South, we have a big role, Professor Letta. Implement the South-South knowledge exchange. This is my dream. Not depend from West and North countries. We need to make our knowledge.
Absolutely. but
and
also
consolidate our knowledge.
but also to develop the knowledge with the idea of projecting to the other the fact that in Latin America there is a tremendous new development from a high-tech point of view. And that is very important because Latin America can be highly competitive worldwide because of the high-tech. The demonstration of the Embraer airplane is just one example. The biofuel is another example. There are plenty of examples. Smart cities is another example.
Yes,
And
Professor.
all this, Latin America is much far ahead than the Southeast Asia.
I have many experts in Latin America. I have many in smart cities. We have in agriculture. We have in technology. It's amazing. Actually, my idea to propose to the authorities is to put the Center of Latin American and Southeast Asia Studies. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Join
Yes.
together to identify the two regions. It's not in Latin America. We need to specify what is our perimeter of knowledge, the area of knowledge, to not confuse
Yes.
things. I don't want to include China, Korea, and Japan because they are large economies.
No, no, right.
We are talking
Absolutely.
about average developing countries interaction.
That is the reason why what you said is correct, because the backbone of the economy in a country like Malaysia is SME. And in Latin America, it's the same thing. The
Yes,
backbone
correct, Prof.
of the SME, so.
And we have very funny thing to tell you. Both produce bananas. I make this joke in my seminar. Guys, we have something in common. What? What? Tell me, doctor. What is it? We eat and produce bananas, and they laugh. And mangoes.
Very true. Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
I think,
Yes.
Professor Letta, if you have something to say extra, it's okay. If we can conclude the presentation, it's a great presentation you've done. It's up to you. And this dialogue is like with this conversation we have. It's not a presentation or this classic teaching class, no. But really, I want to discuss and keep in touch with you. I want to send you a copy of the platform, and I want to make the names of all the group of coordinators, I call, or collaborators. And I want to put your name, and I want all of you can help me to organize and work together in this platform.
Yes.
In the beginning, it's going to be very humble, not so. And I have something to tell you. I want to apply funding in the Asian Development Bank first.
Yes.
And also, I want to invest in the Caribbean and Latin American Development Bank. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
These two banks to prove that our education platform, we need money to pay professors and maintain the web and so many things.
Absolutely right. Yes.
And we have a long journey, Professor Letta. I want we close closely. Maybe in this moment you cannot come, but I believe in the future you are join us physically in Malaysia. And
that's something that I would like very much. But I understand you. I received your letter, and I understand what you're saying.
Professor, I very fair and square with people. I don't like
very good.
I don't like to promise lies, and I don't like because
absolutely right.
I think trust make good friends.
Yeah, definitely. That is important for the long term. You're right.
And for me, first is friendship, and second is business. I don't think business about trading. Business is any kind of relation.
No, you're absolutely right. That's very correct. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, Professor Letta. Then please, you are welcome to class. I welcome you, and I want to put you in the list of all the group of participants in this platform. Prof, I'm sorry to ask, are you attached to any university now? No. Oh, yes.
Well, as I said, at the moment, I'm attached to the University of Lima in Peru because we're launching this book there in Spanish.
Okay. I need you send me by email. You title of your post in the university because I want to put in the web.
Yes, yes. No, that is correct. We are planning to publish this in June. So
As soon as possible, we try, Professor Letta.
by all means. But at the same time, it would be nice if you could send me a letter in which you comment on this presentation and the book as you heard it from me, and then just repeat to me what you said. But because with a letter like this from you, when I go to this other university or I meet other people at the bank, I can know that there is interest in also in other parts, you know, and that would be very helpful in order to progress on the project.
Okay, Professor Letta. I take notes. I cannot promise this week because this week I'm quite busy, but next week I send you the letter, official letter.
Yes, that's right. But if you want to write in Spanish, write in Spanish is perfectly right, because
okay,
the
no problem.
will be talking to they speak Spanish very well. So
okay, no problem, Prof. I take note about this.
Thank you very much.
You are informally, I'm telling you, you are part of class, and we need people like you, experience and knowledge. And you are welcome, Professor Letta. God bless you.
Thank you so
much.
God bless you.
I'm going to send you a small certificate of participation from from class, sorry. And additionally, I want to thanks for your time, for your know-how, knowledge, and experiences. Thank you so much, Professor Letta. We see you soon, and we keep in touch all the time.
Yeah, send me that personal letter that I just mentioned, because that is very important. Yeah.
Yes, Professor Letta.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Ciao. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Obrigado. Ciao.
Obrigado, ciao.
Muchas gracias.
De nada, igualmente, profesor.